first.
Guys, we're already going to be live in 2 seconds. We're just going to wing this one.
Fuck yeah.
Play some music.
So was it wet?
Yeah. It was. I was just surprised I had a third one.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Is it this microphone or is it this microphone? It's obviously not this microphone because this one's not plugged in.
I'll take that.
Take it. Thanks. Throw it away. Put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day.
You know.
Are we live?
We are live.
We are live. Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the dungeon of poison noises.
What's going on, everyone? Jordan from Poison Noises here. I'm here with our buddies, Jay and Rutsky. You've seen both of them before. Say hi, gentlemen.
Hello.
So we're doing kind of a different thing here today. We're instead of having a band come in and do some fun jammy jam stuff with, we called in 2/3 of Otobo, I guess, to come in, or Nerd Dasty, right? That's the other thing.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I thought That's why I brought the Doomstick, but that's okay.
So, what we are doing here today is we're going to show a new Poison Noises pedal, and then we're going to answer some age-old questions here about what that pedal does. So, to change things up, find out what Chunky does. We're gonna kick this off with a game first. I think that's what we decided, right,
really?
boys? Like,
wow,
right, yeah.
That
So,
quick?
Fun.
yeah. So I think that is the right way for us.
Dessert.
Oh, right.
This is dessert before dinner.
Right. Right. So I think that's the way we're gonna send this off first. So the game we are going to be kicking off with first is Rutsky, go get your thing to your right.
I got three things.
The thing that I told you we weren't going to use. Yeah, that one.
Ah, yes.
Give me a drum roll.
Oh, I'll do my... Okay.
The game we're going to play is Poison or Noises.
Started
that
off
game.
right.
So this is probably the most askew camera we've ever had set up before. It was a last minute decision for us to actually have a camera for this one. So
Glad we did.
what we're going to do is the reason we're starting this game off is because underneath one of these boxes is the pedal we are introducing today, which if you saw the thumbnail, you definitely already know what it is. But that being said,
I didn't see it.
why don't you guys discuss amongst yourselves who you think should get what? And then I want Ferns to weigh in as the third decider. So it's a 2/3 vote, and everyone in that room gets to vote.
So a 2 Ferns vote.
I gotta tell you,
Anyway,
earlier I was hoping I would get poisoned, but by this point, I'm actually hoping I don't.
All right, so I was gonna go like classic and go J with A because J.
Hey.
Yay.
Hey, I'm already 3
But
alligator
I'm not
clips
doing
deep,
that.
so-
Today you're getting B and I'm gonna get A
Okay,
because
that's your vote.
that's my vote.
Well, that doesn't count.
All right,
I'm just kidding.
that's a third.
Ferns, what do you think? You're the tiebreaker here.
Birds.
I second the votes of the one made by the gentlemen in the party.
My
All right, I guess that's 2 votes.
I'm against Rutsky though. That's the problem. So
That's
you
fine.
have to be the
2/3
tiebreaker.
majority, homie.
You're right. So you're going Rut. All right. So that means
All right,
Rutsky's A.
so I
I'm
get
B.
A, and Jay gets B.
Well, I suppose you don't. I mean, Jay, you can choose. You can vote for yourself to get whatever you want. You know?
I voted. I've been.
This was the
overruled.
worst way to decide. Ferns, who gets what?
I've been overruled.
Okay, Rutsky gets B.
All right.
Oh,
Jay gets
Rutsky.
A.
Oh,
Wow, look at
there
that.
we go.
I love it.
All right.
All right, give us another drum roll there, Rutsky. Ferns.
Reveal.
Oh.
Let's see. Looks like.
Hey,
That looks
look at
like
that
noises.
shot right there.
Noises.
Boop,
That's
boop, 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 boop,
That's what I was hoping for.
So anyone who saw the thumbnail knows what that is already. That is the all-you-can-eat buffer. It was actually one of the first generation Poison Noises pedals.
That's a beauty.
Yeah, from 2020. We've been doing this for a while now.
Camera 4.
All right, camera 6.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, that's the one.
Oh, he's got it down here.
You
Look
got
at
it
that.
down there. Oh, yeah.
So that pedal One of the first circuits I ever made. We've changed it a little bit since. It's actually technically a slightly different buffer circuit than we used to do. It is a similar buffer circuit. I already know there's people in here who are like not excited about this release, so bear with me on this one. But we're going to show you today why this pedal is so important. So
Yes.
what's cool about this one is it is the buffer of a very famous K-style overdrive, let's call it. It is it is what some people consider to be like one of the best buffers in the world. Granted, a buffer is a buffer is a buffer, but today we are going to show you, with the help of these two gentlemen right here, we are going to show you what is so important about a buffer and why you're going to want to have it in your chain. So,
But first, poison.
oh, that's right, and then Jay got poison also,
No,
right?
no,
So-
I got poison.
got
stuff.
no-
oh, Rusky got poison.
Yeah,
I
so
got poisoned 'cause
he's
he got A.
getting poisoned right now.
I
I
get
just
the
wanted to make
poison.
it known.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
I enjoy apple juice. Thoroughly.
Right, that's what the poison is, in case anyone was
Yeah.
wondering. It's just apple juice.
It smells fine.
It's just apple juice.
So
Right.
let's do this. We had kind of like an order of operations of how we wanted to do this originally, but how about this? How about someone besides me in that room explain what you think a buffer does?
Well, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because here's the thing. I'd like to
I don't
make
want
an
to.
educated guess. Well, that's okay. Sometimes I must be corrected. My educated guess, which it's not well educated, but it's an educated guess, would be that it essentially allows clarity to kind of come back out of your signal after being muddied up by signal loss.
Okay, so
Because generally speaking, I know, at least with like potentiometers and things, whenever you decrease impedance or frequencies, whenever you start taking away, the first thing you lose is clarity and high end. So, from what I know, some sort of magic goes on. I couldn't tell you how that is achieved, but it's definitely achieved in this.
So what we need to talk about here is signal strength. That's what we're leaning into right now. So when it comes to impedance, or let's talk about it in like in terms of that more people can understand. So pretty much any time your signal touches anything, it's losing a little bit of that signal. So that could be, the jacks in your pedals. It could be the length of cable that you have. Everyone's kind of got like a different rule for like how long you think like cables are supposed to be before you start to lose stuff. Do you guys have an input on that? Like what's like the maximum size cable you'll use before you start to notice something?
Well, I use those Mogamis, son. Yeah, so I don't worry about
Well, that
it.
makes
No,
the,
I'm
yeah,
just
it is,
kidding.
those
I
are
don't know.
strong cables.
I assume that I get less because Mogami. One time I've got a Mogami Platinum, like one of those stupid $130 cables. But I work at Guitar Center, so it wasn't $130 for me. But point being, I plugged that thing in and I couldn't believe I had to adjust my whole rig accordingly because it was so much more. It was just pushing my amp way harder. I was getting more signals, almost like having a boost on. But that being said, I assume because of using good cables that I could get away with 15 to 20 feet, cables and not have a big loss. But I'm rethinking after the demonstration I got while we were setting up.
Yeah, I've always heard the number in the audio world being 17 and a half feet. Like that was like the number. You should never go like higher than that number. That being said, it's all subjective. It also depends on like what kind of pickups you have in your guitar and how strong those are also, So anyways, what we are trying to show today is what that signal loss actually sounds like. So to Jay's point, originally one thing he had said was the first place you start to notice it is in the high end, and that is true. And there is speaking of true, there is a hot topic word that people really, really like lean really hard into, and especially when it comes to the boutique stuff. I think it could probably turn sometime around like turn of the century. People start caring about this word a whole lot. It has to do with a certain kind of switching system.
Are you asking us?
I know you guys probably, you guys definitely know. Anyone in the comments? There's a couple of people in the comments. I was going to say, if anybody knows.
Oh, can we get those?
Maybe, yeah. Actually,
what are we-
give me a
what are we
second.
looking
I'll
for?
set those up in a
A
sec.
term to describe what?
So actually, you know what? I'm just going to ask Jay. Jay, what is a hot topic pedal term that was used to describe
Oh,
changing between your affected signal
I
and your
can
regular
take a
signal?
guess right now.
Hit me with
but
it.
I'm gonna know. You just want me to get away?
Yeah,
I'm
just say
pretty sure
it. That's
I know.
fine. You can say it.
Buffered versus true bypass.
Right. So true bypass was something you start to see in the boutique industry, which the whole thing it was like marketed as. I'm I think I'm gonna put that on full tone. I think that's like the first place I heard it from.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
definitely. Yeah, I had one of those blue full tone overdrives as a kid, and it said
The
true
MOSFET?
bypass. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was like in my experience, that was like the first place I heard that.
I had no
So,
idea about it at the time.
that being said, true bypass is like something people are like, oh, does it have true bypass? Like, really, what's happening though is what they mean is, does it not have like a buffered switching system? So like all boss pedals are what some people call boss bypass, buffered bypass, whatever. What that means is when your signal is disengaged, it's actually running through a buffer from the input to the output, even when the effect isn't working. So like any boss pedal could be a chorus, a distortion, whatever. When it's disengaged, it's actually running through a buffer as opposed to just like touching, tip to tip on the jacks and connecting them together.
I have a question.
Hit me with a question.
Talking about boss pedals, talking about having a buffer. Do you know off the top of your head if the Boss tuner has a buffer?
Yes. Oh, yeah,
Is it
It's
bypassable?
I think
The Wazacraft one has a switch.
correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
That's my understanding. And I think the tuner is like an always on thing on that. Actually, I'm
Interesting.
pretty sure. Yeah.
I
yeah.
feel like that's an important thing to know.
Yeah. So, and there's a lot of stuff that comes to buffers. We're gonna cover a whole bunch of stuff here, but we have a couple of experiments that we're gonna run to kind of explain, why buffers are important. I think the tag on this video, the clickbait, is "What's the deal with buffers?" I think that's what we have
What's
on this
the
one. Right. So, true bypass became one of those things that people looked for in a pedal, but in my opinion, it's generally speaking worse because if you run a big bunch of a spaceship board, you know what I mean, like 1,000 pedals on one board or whatever, I would say that you're going to get more signal loss than you realize you're going to get. That's really like the nicer way to put it. And so let me ask you guys this. You guys are both, I know, Jay, you have about 100 pedal boards. You know what I mean? Why don't you tell me, how many pedals on average do you think you have on one of your boards?
I would say, put it this way, I generally need at least 8 power spots. You know what I mean? So I think for me, I would say probably somewhere between, on an average, probably 6 or 7, because usually one of them at least is an 18 volt. But that being said, I'd say probably average for most people. If I was gonna, gun to my head, had to take a guess, I think the average is at least 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I would say 7.
I'd say 7 because
most guitar players. I've seen people with 20 and I've seen people with none.
Yeah.
So
7 included, and then 6 to 7, and then a volume pedal.
yeah, well,
feel
it
like
counts.
if we're
Volume pedal
putting-
counts. It's
Okay,
jacks,
so yeah,
it's
6 to 7.
jacks
Yeah, it's
and-
fine.
Okay.
Well, then I would do
It's
8
actually
because I have 6 pedals on my board that do things to my tone. I have a tuner, and then I have my volume pedal.
Well, right. And
So
the tuner, the only
7
reason it
ports.
doesn't do anything to your tone is because you have it in the
Yeah,
tuner out.
my tuner runs through my VP Junior from the
Tuner
tuner
out.
out. Yep.
Right.
So it's not in my
The
chain
signal
of
path,
my
yeah.
signal path. Thank you.
Cool. Before I go any farther, someone's brought to my attention that the signal might be a little quiet. You guys hearing us talk okay? If you need me to turn up the volume,
Hey!
you can always let me know.
Hey!
Yeah, or they can just yell.
hear
This thing's got a buffer.
Yeah, tell me. You can tell me in the in the YouTube comments. Tell me in the Instagram comments. I can always give us a little push if we need to give us a little push. Speaking of little push, why don't we do this? Let's do this. Let's just do a clean tone. Which one of you got the all you can eat? Jay got the noises.
I did, yeah.
Right?
I'm
You
You
got
got
that?
noises. I got poison,
I'm noised
and
out.
they handed it to me, and I'm drinking it.
We got the wall of amps behind us right now.
Oh, yeah,
it's
you
only
gotta have
it's only
wall
4 amps, right? Who was it? Was it Rusky? What's the name of the dude that we were watching the other day that was talking
Oh,
about the wall of
goodness.
amps? He's
Oh,
like,
totally.
he's talking about like Rick
Wall.
Beato and like how
Oh,
is it?
man.
I
The
should've-
Boston dude,
does-
Pat
he
Finnerty.
does-
Pat
thank you,
Finnerty,
thank
that's
you.
who it is.
If you've
And he-
never heard of Pat Finnerty, check him out. He's very funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Does
He's got
he
a
have-
he's got a
does he
really
have
good
This is
Boston
not a
accent?
sponsored video.
Oh yeah,
I love a good Boston exit.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
he's
He's
hysterical.
very
Wall of
funny.
amps.
He's kind of like a parody on like what we're doing right now. To be honest, like we're just like really funny. Just check him out. He's good. I don't know why I'm hyping his page right now, but I've been laughing at it for the past
Well,
week.
I
So.
mean, yeah, we
Fucking
watched
love
like,
You know who
Yeah,
turned me
almost
on to
entire
that? The
channel
guys
around.
from the Snorts. When I was doing stuff with them, there's a great shirt, right? When I was doing stuff with them, they were like, "You would love this. You got to watch that." So, okay. So first thing, why doesn't one of you just run through the all you can eat and plug it into something right now?
Okay, well,
Just plug it into anything. I guess it's supposed to be Jay technically.
So I guess to say ahead of time, this is the all you can eat. We have another all you can eat here plugged in right now. Through the board, should I just use the regular pedal?
Tell you
Jordan?
what,
Well, that
plug
one's Hemi orange. so
plug
it's gonna
Yeah,
plug
sound better.
plug
Yeah, you're right.
Hemi orange. Plug
Dude,
plug
that thing got a
the
Hemi in it.
plug the give Jay the all you can eat, like the actual pedal one, because he won it, and that way we'll clean up his tone. When we're swapping stuff back and forth, we'll figure it out. Yeah, you put it on his board, not in your pocket.
Oh yeah, nah, I'm only kidding. Hello.
Look, we love that.
That's bound to happen.
Why don't you tell me which one you're swapping so I can mute them?
Fender.
Got
Just
it.
muted the Fender.
It's on
we're just
standby.
going right into it. Tell 'em what we're doing.
Oh, right now we're going straight into the pedal, just cable to pedal. So we're. I've assumed he wanted us to put it in the board, but hey, let's see. This is just cable. This is just gonna show loss from cable.
Well, it's not going to show loss from cable because it's just clean.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying if with this off, you're starting signal loss from all the cable.
Oh yeah,
we're
do you want
using.
to hear it with just the amp, the guitar through the amp as it
Let's
is?
use the shortest cables we have.
Okay.
For what? That's a huge.
That's already an indicator of how annoying we're going to be with this video right now. So
We're
if you guys
annoying.
are not interested in what a buffer actually does, stop watching this video. You've seen the pedal, you've seen us.
Oh, that works.
That's pretty much it.
Um,
So
But there's a lot to learn in this video, so I recommend you stick around because I learned a lot just from setting up and talking about it preemptively.
I knew so much more. Put that after other way around.
Okay.
Other
Your
way.
guitar's in this one?
Yeah, guitars in that one.
Mute the Fender real fast.
they're both muted right now.
Sick.
Bang.
Nope.
That goes into the amp.
That goes grief.
I'm sorry.
Why don't you guys put them on standby? You could always do that too. It's like,
They were
is this
on
your first day or?
It was on standby.
And then I turned it off. I had it
You know
on
what it was?
ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Here we go. All right.
I
we're
want to
in.
make a joke, but
This
I'm not
is the
gonna.
buffer. Hit it, Fergie.
Let me know. Can I unmute these
All right,
things?
The buffer is not
Yes.
in the shot. It's blocked by my big body, but
Buffer is
Yeah, maybe we can
plugged
see it in one of these horrible
behind
cams.
it.
Yeah, you can see it.
so first off, I just want to say this thing was built to doom. It was not built to do clean. So just be patient.
The guitar he's talking about. So,
it's
it's-
nice and clean right now. Now should we plug them? Go straight into the amp.
Right. Well, I
Here,
mean,
here,
you know, all that's really doing at this point is we are
You should be
we
good as
we
well, sir.
passing it through that pedal. It doesn't sound like anything, right? It sounds like your clean tone, which, and I think this is where people start to get like, oh, why would I buy a pedal that doesn't do anything? So we're gonna do a couple of back and forth experiments right now to kind of show how that works. And we've got a few of them on the docket that we want to do. So what I want to do first, Rutsky, does he have his headphones on? Can he hear me?
I do.
Okay, cool. So what I want to do first is maybe we just start with the 50-foot of cables.
I right now I have it so that his guitar is running directly through the DeVille.
Yeah, there's
Straight
no,
into
no
the DeVille.
buffer.
No
right now.
buffer, just guitar through the cable to the amp.
Which cable are you using?
This is a 50-foot.
Yeah, so we got a whole bunch of different size cables here. While we're on the topic, I got you guys the comment cam here.
Sweet. Hi, comments.
Someone's asking if we have any good recommendations for a noise gate or a compressor. Do you guys have any recommendations for that?
First noise gate I think of is the decimator. What is
ISP.
it? ISP decimator. It's got one knob on it. Doesn't get better than that. I want no noise here.
The other big one
That's
I
the
know
one.
is the Fortin.
The what?
The Fortin. Fortin's the company.
Can you spell that?
Fortin. Yeah.
Fortin. Okay.
I forget. It's like I forget the name of the pedal, but Fortin noise gate. My first thought always what I would say is why noise gate.
So
high gain,
I got
but
Nick.
high gain single coils.
Nick Brown is asking us to do
Why?
a comparison real quick.
Why
Actually,
high gain single coils?
Oh, hang on. I'll answer that question.
Nick Brown wants us to do a little thing. He wants to hear the difference between 15-foot cable versus 50-foot of cable. So why don't we do? Yeah, we'll just switch between the two. And I think I have a fun way to do this. So here, hang on.
I would say this to you. I would say it would be if we can switch quickly between them, you could really hear the difference.
I think I've got a better way to do it.
With the
actually,
mood swing?
I think no, because that's got buffers in it, so we can't do that.
Ah,
So here's what I think. Which amp are you guys going to use? Tell me that first.
Right now, the DeVille.
Okay, cool. So let's do this. What are you plugged into right now, Jay?
50
is
foot
50
into the
footer.
DeVille.
You're on the 50-foot.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, let's try this. So through this entire thing, I want you to keep your signal the same. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a little frequency analysis in Pro Tools, and we'll see if we can actually
Cool.
see this difference first. This might be minute, but let's try it. So
All right.
let's...
And just so we know, right now he's through the 50-foot. I've got the 15-footer right next to me.
Yep.
So we're going to do a flip. The quickest flip I can physically do.
It's gonna be hard to hear it right off the bat, but you gotta trust us in the room.
Well,
Well,
might
you
see
don't,
it.
you don't have to worry about it as much because what I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze the analysis. So like here, check this out. I'll show you.
Oh,
So like
that's
here we got the Fab Filter, the Pro Q, right? So
Yep.
this does a really cool thing where you can actually freeze it. So Jay, I'm going to unmute these guitars right now.
Yep,
Just
yep.
play into.
Ready? Here's just a nice full frequency chord for you.
Yeah. Okay, and we're seeing kind of where that lands right now. So let's do this. I'm going to mute these now, and I want you guys to swap that cable out, right?
Yeah.
Actually, do you guys mind not using the coily one, because the coily one's gonna be twice as long as you think it is.
Yeah. Well, it's advertised as a 20-footer.
Do you have any of my blue or my gold? Yeah, Rusty's got the gold one in his hand. Cool. So we'll do that.
If we had a really, really good quality one too, that would be awesome. I would have known. I would have brought some Mogamis.
See, the Mogamis, I have a weird experience with those because sometimes, like, when recording, they're, like, a little noisy, and I think they actually kind of do some weird stuff to the relationship between ground and the actual signal, but that's, like, on a really nerdy level. I think playing live, you probably get better use out of them.
That's interesting,
Yeah.
So, all right, are we on the noise? Are we ready? Because we're ready.
Go ahead and give it a strum.
I definitely bumped the volume with the angled cable.
Oh no! All right, it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna do it again. Let's reset it.
Here, play a chord for me.
Yep.
Give me again. That's our volume.
Okay, you guys gonna swap it again now?
Yep, that's the 15. We're all set there?
Yep.
All right. Take the 50. There was no bump this time.
All right, here we go.
Let me unmute you.
Let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead. It's definitely not pushing these high frequencies anymore. Nothing moved here. We're getting some new stuff here just because of the different chords, but nothing changing in the high end. So we're starting to roll stuff off probably around like 5K. That's where I'd say we're probably starting to lose stuff. So, and granted, that's not an exact science. If we had like a looper playing the same exact signal over and over again, but we're starting to see it.
I
And
brought a looper in case we want to go there.
maybe we'll dig into that after the fact. Maybe we can do that. But I want to start showing it. We've been doing this for about 23 minutes now. We have actually found a really cool way to show the difference between swapping between, and like our minds were blown when we did this. So let's do this. We're gonna set up. We got 5 Poison Noises pedals, all in true bypass right now. You could actually, to prove they're in true bypass, the power cable isn't really in. I think power cable's in one of them maybe because we're
The
gonna use
power
it later.
cable is only running to the glut cheeks. And
Okay.
before this, I cracked open every pedal and made sure that they were set to true bypass.
Well, so here's a fun fact. If you guys don't know this, if you want to know whether or not a pedal is true bypass or buffer bypass, if you unplug it and it can still work in its bypass position, it is true bypass. If it does not work, it can't power the buffer, and therefore it is buffered bypass. So that's a fun way to. It's a really easy way. Yeah. So that's a really easy way to figure it out. That being said, this is what I want to do. We have those 5 pedals that we talked about, right? So we've got Glut Cheeks, Lighthouse, Mood Swing, Gluttonous Maximus, Knuckle Sandwich. No crook on there. You know why? Because I just don't have one built right now for the first time in my life, which is crazy to think about. But I just shipped one out the other day.
Let
That's
me
why.
ask this. So the mood swing is turned on true bypass mode.
Well,
Correct.
currently, it's
So
on
we
true
could-
bypass mode because it's not running power. Generally, it's always buffered.
Oh, once you power it up.
Yeah.
But that's so. What
Once
is
you
this?
turn it on,
He has
it's
a
buffered.
switch.
So here's how it works. The
That's
loops are buffered.
Oh, okay.
The actual pass through of it can be buffered if you turn the switch on internally. For people who don't know that, it's a little confusing, but
That's cool.
it's like, but
Well,
that's
it's
how
just
it
if
works.
you engage the pedal, it's buffered bypass. But if you don't have it engaged, it's true bypass.
Well, no, not necessarily. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. That's how you can tell if they're true bypass or not.
Will it still
true
pass signal through it
If it's true bypass,
if it's plugged in but not on?
Ask me that question again.
disregard.
Don't worry about it.
I don't even think I could ask
it's
it
okay.
the
We're
right,
gonna.
the right or wrong
Here,
way.
here's
right now.
Me and him are
here's
gonna
the way
have a
where
good
I'll explain this because the
conversation.
mood swing's relatively new. I will explain this. There's loops in the mood swing, right?
Yep.
Okay, and those loops are what you're switching between.
And they have buffers on them.
Correct.
But the buffer for the actual in and out signal is switchable. which right now is
Yes,
set
and
on 2
internally, yes, and right now it is up. This is how you can
Okay.
tell, right? There's no power plugged into it, and it's passing through.
Right, that's what I was
Right?
trying to say. That's
That's the easiest way to,
Right,
to
okay.
be able to understand it. So, that being said, we have 5 pedals, but then we also have 50 feet of cable
On each end.
on each end of this. That should be a lot of loss.
Which is interesting. We have a long cable going after the buffer to the amp.
Yes.
That's okay. Like
Oh,
that's.
you'll
You'll
Yeah,
see.
but-
You'll
we're gonna
see.
switch that out too? Wow, that's cool. I'm excited.
So, I mean,
Can we turn on the fuzz though?
we'll do that after
We
the
will-
fact.
we
After
will
the
get
fact,
on
we're gonna do
that.
because there's a lot of other stuff to talk about with fuzzes when it comes to buffers. We'll kind of cover that all at the same time. So, I think that we should just play it clean first, and maybe I'll do this. Let's see.
Worst clean guitar ever.
So let's take a look at.
Sorry guys.
And right now, Rutsky, we have nothing. Oh, hang on, someone's asking me. At some point, will another compressor from? Oh, people want to know if we'll ever make another compressor or a noise gate. Those are both things I'm actually looking at right now, to be honest. So yes, maybe this year. We're doing a lot of pedals this year. So many pedals this year. So okay. So that being said, let me figure out the right way to do this. So if we can pull up another little frequency analysis thing here in the Pro Q. So Jay, give me that same chord you were playing before. Is that the same volume you were at before?
I haven't touched the amp at all.
That's like picking. That's digging into it.
That's crazy because we are way lower. We were like, yeah, there he goes. You have to like hit it hard, right? But
I
we were
didn't do that
still,
last time.
we were hitting like -9 here before on the stuff after 5K. So you can see that already. We're losing a lot of signal just based on that stuff. But we wanted it to be a little more audible than just that, right? So what I want you guys to do is, hang on, let's set this up first. First, let's just see if we can hear it, and then we'll see if we can see it. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Yeah.
So,
I will say instantly already, just compared to me playing clean a second ago, it already feels a little more like compressed almost because of the fact that I'm losing those like bright. It's interesting. And it's weird. It's definitely darker
Yes.
versus just plugging in the amp
Yeah.
already. Just going through.
Yeah, there
that
was a
many
lot of
true bypass.
clarity that isn't there anymore.
Right.
And that's just from how much
Cable
cable and
and-
going through pedals
Right.
to signal loss.
True bypass pedal.
okay, here's the moment of truth. Let's actually do this. Is, in my opinion, what the best representation we have so far. 30 minutes into this video, this is the best representation I have of being able to hear it. Let's see how well it translates over the YouTubes. So
All right, I'm
Rutsky
ready when you
has
are.
essentially a little device I've made that'll switch between that buffer and not having that buffer, and he can switch between it in real time. So why don't you go ahead and let Jay play in the middle of him playing, switch that switch. We'll see if we can hear
Right
it.
now we're in true bypass. You ready?
Go for it.
Here we go.
Already way brighter.
So much more clarity
Totally
on the
different.
top end.
So Jay, just play something riffy and let Rutsky switch back and forth between it. Let's see if we can hear it. I'll see if I can even clean this guitar up a little bit. Let's see.
All right, I'm gonna start flipping now.
Yep. Right there, I can definitely hear it.
On. That's with the buffer. And off. On.
So let's do it this way so
Really
people
hear
can
it
see.
on that B and G string.
Yeah, that's where you're gonna hear it is in the high frequencies for sure. So Rutsky, what I want you to do is point up when the buffer is on and point down when the buffer is off, and we'll go with do it this
Okay.
way.
Do this.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, okay, see, I know you got to be able to hear that on social media. At least I hope so. Tell me, can you guys hear that difference? Just out of curiosity, like, because it's so glaringly loud to us here. That's on. Yeah.
I will say now that he's got it on, I just don't want to turn it off.
Well, that's the point,
Right.
right? Think about how much signal you're missing when you don't have a buffer at the end of all that true bypass. And that goes for anyone using pedals. Like, this blew my mind when we were testing this before. Because all these pedals I love, but just thinking about, you know, if I was going to play on a stage and I needed 25 feet of cable on either side to have my pedal board out in front of me, think about how much clarity and how much of that tone I'm losing. That's crazy.
Sad.
That's crazy.
All right, let's see if we can see it visually. So, Rusky, just do exactly what you're doing before, and I'm going to throw this in
All right.
so
Now,
we can
because
see
it's
that
on
again.
I will say when I'm going to do it because you won't see my thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now, we're in true bypass.
You want me to play?
Yes, please.
Let's see if I can actually do this.
I'm sorry. This is off. That's on. I can tell because I can hear the high end. This is on. Stay there. This is off.
Wow, look at that. Right here.
I'll do it again. This is off. This is on.
It's total difference.
All right, hang on. Yeah, give me the low again. Play the.
This is off.
Jay, can you play those chords you were playing before that were pretty much just on like the top strings?
Yeah, you're playing to the.
Yeah, let me see if I can just get a little freeze image of that. Flip that buffer on, Rutsky. We're even getting stuff like as low as like 3 back in that signal. That's crazy. That's nuts. We love that. We love that so much.
Oh, I love that people are hearing a clear difference. That's great.
Yeah. No, that's super cool. Okay, so that's it. I mean, that's the most of what we wanted
the
to
short
showcase,
version,
right?
That's the pedal. It's incredible what knowing where to put a buffer in your signal can make a big difference. And if you have a lot of pedals, and then just put it at the end, you'll just get a lot back.
Yeah. And Connor's already saying it in our
Clean your tone.
Yeah, but it's on our website. You can get it. It's $59.99 right now. I think that's the cheapest pedal we've ever had. I'm pretty sure that is the least
And
expensive pedal we've ever released.
Most orange.
Yeah, definitely the most orange we've ever had. That's for sure. I'd say arguably one of the most important pedals we've ever released.
I was about to say
too.
the same thing. Yeah.
So, you can see I was highlighting stuff to put it in the comments from before. That's something we don't talk about is there was just like, there was a point in time where like me and Connor just spent so much time on like how many puns can we like squeeze into the description of a pedal, you know what I mean? This one I was pretty proud of today. The all you can eat buffer is back for a second plate right there by itself. That's just, yeah, right, but it's the V2, right?
I should have brought my OG because I have an OG.
Ah, darn. I
Yeah,
have one
you guys
too.
see,
We were
like,
at the apartment.
that's how long these guys have been sticking with me for. They both have the original versions of these from 2020.
Oh yeah,
so.
hand painted, hand
Right.
decal.
So, wait. This handy little utility pedal will beef up your signal to dish up a stronger feed into your signal
Oh
chain.
my
Like, come
goodness.
on, right? All right. Yeah,
Good
maybe
grief.
no one cares as much as I do, I guess. But get your fill for a low price with all you can eat buffer today.
And the orange
So
paint
good.
is sure to make
Do you-
your friends salty. They
you know-
don't have one.
Orange is the color that's supposed to make you the hungriest.
Yes.
I didn't
I do
know
know
that
that.
until
That's
I.
why-
Yeah, right. So, okay, cool. So let's play another game. Give me
Oh
a
my
thing.
God. Does it turn on the fuzz? Because that's a game I want to play.
Here we go. Yeah, give me a slow one. Whale scale. First guy, Tosin Abasi.
Oh, whale scale.
Is
Whale
that
scale, baby. Oh, you guys couldn't hear me announce it?
Sorry, I heard you, but I.
You
didn't
guys
register.
were lost in the
I
sauce
didn't know
there.
if I was supposed to keep playing or what.
knee deep in the jams.
No, you're good. You're good. So yeah, number one here, Tosin Abasi.
Abasi.
Oh, you don't want my opinion. I mean, I guess
I
I'm
would
forced to
say-
give it, aren't I?
I would say a 6. because I want to give him a 7, but I feel like a lot of people know Tosin Abasi now. So, but I don't think enough people talk about how good he is, overall. Because he's really good at other things other than just going down to get the bap, down to get the bap.
Yeah, but he's really good at that.
He's really good at that, which is why I give him a 6 and not a 7.
So one thing I want to talk about with him too is, well, first off, the way the whale scale works, I didn't quite explain it, but the whale scale is if it's a scale of like 1 to 10. 1, they're incredibly overrated. 10, they're incredibly underrated. And 5 or 6, it's like, yeah, that we know who they are and they is what they is. So that being said, Tosin Abasi, I think he's an incredible player.
He's a perfect tiger.
He's very, very good. Much better than me for sure. I've watched so many interviews on like his rigs and stuff like that, and when I see like his pedals and his amps and stuff set up, I'm like, oh, there's some cool stuff on there. Not the way I would approach it, but cool. And then you see him like start endorsing his plugins and stuff like that. I am not down with his digital stuff at all. No, I think the stuff that they have, like the plug-in versions of his stuff, is no bueno. So I'm gonna say a 6 because
that's where I was at. Right.
I think he's better than people give him credit for, but I think they give him enough credit.
Yes, I agree.
That's where
What's
I feel
his
about
signature
this.
pedal? Is that the Pantheon? What he doesn't he have? He has got a pedal with Wampler.
No, I don't think it's.
I don't think he has a pedal with Wampler. Pantheon is a Wampler pedal, I'm pretty sure, but I don't
If
think.
somebody knows, can you put it in the comments?
Yeah,
I'm
someone
pretty
look
sure
that
he's
up.
got a pedal with Wampler, but please correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think he does. I feel like I would know that. Maybe I wouldn't.
Brian's
but-
cooler than that.
Right, he'd be making dirt pedals. I feel like I'd like it a lot more if Brian was making it. So okay, let's move
I
on.
don't
next?
know how his pedals are. I'm
Let's
I
move
love
on.
Wampler pedals.
Keith Richards.
Keith Richards, I'm gonna make a 7 easy, maybe an 8.
I'd go at least a 7 or 8, strictly just for the "Can't You Hear Me Knocking" riff.
That's a great riff.
So
I
good.
was thinking about so much of the history when we come back to what's that song? Bop, bop, ba-na-na.
Satisfaction.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
It's like the first ever
Satisfaction fuzz
commercial
tone.
song that had like a really good. Well, no, there's other ones out there, but I'd say that's the most. There's like a scale,
It
right,
just-
for like
yeah.
what's actually considered like a popular song. You know what I mean?
And
But-
also learning how he plays a 5-string Telecaster. I think
sometimes,
that's-
not always.
Not always, but sometimes. But the fact that
doesn't
he
use that
played
low string, yeah.
so much of a 5-string Telecaster in the development of the band, like when in the 70s.
They made him one. Yeah, they made him.
Right. I just think that there's a lot to learn from that. So I would say an 8 because I think that there's a lot of technique stuff that he did where he used guitar in a different way than everybody else was using guitar. That's worth investigating for
Sure.
the sake of knowledge.
Sure.
I got a good Keith Richards one for you. Apparently, he was. And I'm pretty sure this is him. Hopefully, I'm correct about this. But they were going to head to a gig, and they were already running late. And he got in a limo, and they took off. And he's like, "No, wait, I forgot something. We gotta go back. So they go back to the hotel, and he runs inside, and all of a sudden, a couple minutes later, a TV comes flying out from like the 20th floor and just smashes right in the parking lot, right? And they're like, what the hell? And then Keith just runs and he gets in the car. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, we almost forgot to wreck the room. That's bad luck.
I've heard that story about a couple of different people. I'd like to believe. I've heard it was also Keith Moon. I've heard because I know he used to do it all.
Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe,
Nick Brown just literally just put it in the comments. He goes, "It's either him or Moon."
Yeah.
It was a Keith. We know it was a Keith.
Keith.
Shout out to
Yeah,
the Keiths.
shout out to
love
all the
Keith.
Keiths.
Just because Keith Richards' name is Keith, then I'll stick with an 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it at a 9. I think he is.
Yeah,
I think
he's
he's wildly underrated. I think he's an incredible rhythm player, an incredible lead player, and
great.
I think his whole band just gets overshadowed by
I
the
agree.
Beatles.
There's
personally,
something to say
True.
about the fact that they're how old and still playing their
Still playing.
songs. The fact
he's got to
that-
be like one of the most searched. Like, is he still alive? People of all time, you know.
He looks like a batting mitt. Or
He looks like the world's
a baseball
oldest
mitt.
pirate,
It's just been,
and I love
yeah,
that.
like the world's oldest.
You know, like he does.
Poor guy's been through it. You know,
But
he's great.
Connor
Yeah,
gives him a
we love-
7. Nick gives
yeah.
him an 8. We got some people saying
what's
7.
next? I'm so excited.
Yeah, let's
I love
move
this
on.
game.
Yeah, I do. I love this one too.
Joe Bonamassa.
Jobo.
I give
Divorce.
him-
It's credited as Divorced Dad's record
Oh,
collection.
yeah,
Connor has to always put like one in there that I feel like is just made to make me laugh, and that's
I give
that's
him
one
a
to pick.
6. I think he's a little underrated. I think a lot of people know his name and people think he's overrated, but I don't think anybody could give me a solid answer as to why they consider him overrated, other than the fact that everybody knows him.
Yeah,
He's a really good
that's it.
player.
He's a really good player.
He's a really good player. He's got a
It's
huge
it's
collection.
an attitude
Well,
thing.
here's the
It's an
thing.
attitude thing.
Oh, I don't think he's got a bad attitude. I listen to a lot of
I met the
music.
guy. He's really nice. He was nice to me.
Yeah. He didn't seem like a bad guy. But for me, I'll say this. I'm just because I dislike Tosin Abasi for the same reason, I'm going to give him a 4 because that's what I was going to give Tosin Abasi.
Okay, that's fair.
So, I would rather listen. If I was going to sit down and listen to somebody play guitar, I'd rather listen to Jobo. So maybe I'll say 5.
I'm going to give him
Tosin
a
gets a
5.
4.
Yeah, you made my 6 a 5 with that.
You know, because he's exactly rated. He's exactly as great as they say he is.
Yeah.
But he's never written a song. And the same thing I say about Tosin. Like why Keith Richards is an 8 because he's not as good a player as either of those guys. But he's an 8 because he writes way better riffs and songs.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the name of an Animals as Leaders or Joe Bonamassa's song,
Same.
but I could name a couple of Rolling Stones songs.
Oh, I could. Yeah, absolutely. I've listened to some albums. You know, where I don't
Right.
listen to those guys. You know, but
No
I
offense to those guys. I
No.
think they're all fantastic.
They're
But,
incredible. I've never heard any. Of
yeah,
their
solid
music per se.
5. Solid 5.
I
on the
go. I
Joe
go
Bo.
5. Joe Bo.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with like he's like a 3 to me, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
Overrated.
I'm not like into like. Here's the end of my career. I'm not like super into like guitar music. I need like
No,
a
I
song.
get it. Me
I need
neither.
stuff
like blues
written.
soloing kind of stuff.
I mean, maybe I'm just over the
'Cause
blues.
you love guitar music. We could talk about that.
I like riffs.
Yeah,
love
riff rock-
riffs.
riff rock
But
is-
he just makes stuff that's just like so not for me. And you know who
Same.
it's for?
Same.
Divorced dads. That's who it's for. So
That's exactly what's.
he's
for.
blues for boomers. There it is. Right.
Quick
Well,
shout out to
yeah.
Collar City Guitars.
Yep.
That's right. We're drinking, having a couple of collar cities today.
Give me camera 6 real fast.
Give Peter a call.
Thank you, Peter, for all that you do.
You're a good
oh,
guy.
look at the blue tape on there.
Oh,
Yeah.
you already know. Shout out to Connor real fast because
Because that's for Connor.
that is entirely for Connor. I went through our
Rutsky worked
entire
hard on that.
fridge and I taped every single can
Rutsky
of
went hard.
every beverage.
Oh well, that's not going to
Soda,
be annoying for me later
juice.
when I'm trying to have a drink.
Oh, you'll know exactly what it is. I only taped
Oh.
enough so that
Just the
it
top
covers.
half.
Yeah,
We're
just enough so
sneaking-
that it doesn't stick
Sneaking a
out.
little peek. Whoa! Sneaking a little peek.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers! Yeah, I'll take a
Oh.
cheers. I was
Yeah.
just
a little. Oh, that's
side,
it.
a little side boob.
You don't get any more.
Yeah.
Side boob.
You don't know what it is. It is soda.
All right, we're moving on. Who do we got? It is. Oh, Modesty Yahoo.
Oh, dude,
Is that who that is?
so good.
Who
No,
is that?
Mateus.
Mateus.
He
Asado.
Mateus
plays-
Asado,
he's
sorry.
incredible.
I like dyslexic read that real quick. That's so funny.
7 to 8.
I was like, I like because you know why?
Modesty
You
Yahoo.
can't see it on my screen, but it says camera 8 over where his name is. So like I couldn't see it, but that's super funny. Someone say his name for me.
Mateus
Asado.
Asado.
Mateus Asado. I don't know
He's
who this is.
fantastic. He plays with Tori Kelly. He plays with Bruno Mars. He's incredible,
Yeah,
dude.
he's
He
disgusting.
rips. I found him on Instagram, and I know he did a lot on Instagram and I think a couple other social media platforms. But he has phenomenal tone. He plays Suhr guitars, and they're really nice. And I don't think I've ever heard him play something that wasn't incredibly tasteful. So if you actually, you know what, for that I'm gonna give him an 8 because
I'm gonna give him a 7 only because I can't let him beat Keith Richards for me.
for
That's
me,
just a personal thing. It's just a
that
personal
man
thing. But he's
knows
incredible.
how to vocalize on a guitar. If you
Absolutely.
were ever interested in learning how to quote unquote sing on a guitar, I think he's a really good person to listen to
Absolutely.
because he knows how to put melodies on top of what he's playing, and you always feel like there's not only a chord progression behind what he's playing, but also a melodic intention.
But
and I
the
love
thing
that.
is, it sounds exactly like it's supposed to, and that's why Keith Richards is better.
I don't
in
even
my
know what that means.
It's like it's exactly what you expect in the best way, in the very best way. But in a way, it's something like it doesn't sound original. You know what I mean? It just sounds perfect.
It does sound perfect.
You know
It
what I
doesn't.
mean?
It
You know what I'm saying? That's
Kinda.
all.
I
Like,
wanna
maybe
figure out how to
it's the
vocalize that
the fact that there
more
is
articulate.
so few imperfections almost dehumanizes him in a way.
he.
I'm just gonna give him a 2 because I've never met a person who played a Suhr guitar that wasn't just like incredibly full of themselves and indulgent and terrible.
I'm still gonna give him an 8 as a guitar player because I think he's nasty. But I respect your opinion.
Yeah, he is fucking.
I'm gonna drink my
incredible.
blue drink. It's got more
He
oxygen.
really is incredible.
We're moving on to real guitar players. We got oh hey
Oh.
that's my boy right there.
I'm gonna give him a 6. I give him a 6
He plays a Les
I give
Paul
him a
Jr., so
6.
he's at least a 6.
because I
Maybe
think a
more.
lot of people know him. A lot of people know his music. I don't think as many people think about him from a songwriting perspective as they do as the singer and guitar player in Green Day. That being said, go listen to American Idiot again, because I'm sure you have, people on the internet, and appreciate the songwriting on that album. It's amazing. He's got so
I
many
think
great tunes.
I really want to give him extra points for being like a good songwriter, but I also like took points away from Joe Bonamassa because he didn't write the kind of music I like. So it's like I'm kind of torn here. American Idiot's like what got me into music. You know what I mean? It's like I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that record.
It's a personal preference, though, so it's okay. I feel the same way with Monteta Cesaro. That's why I took points away from
Here's the thing. In terms of that band being a power trio, he plays the right thing for sure. I think he does it better. I've seen, me and Connor have seen them together, and there's like a lot of guitarists on stage when he goes and he plays, but like hot take, I think they do power trio better than like Nirvana. Like I think that they fill that sound better, and I love Nirvana. You know what I mean? But like,
so much.
I'm gonna give him a 7.
I'm gonna think about that for too many days.
Okay.
Why do you say that? Because I think of those two bands and I think of them as very different bands, just from like a tonal place.
All right,
like
let
Nirvana
me hit
is
it this way.
way-
So there's
yeah.
like a holy trinity of, well, more than that. There's a bunch of bands that I like think of when I think of power trios. I think of Rush, but I take Rush out of the equation because Geddy Lee's also playing keys at the same time with his
Okay,
feet.
yep.
So I kind of just like it's a different thing. They're harder to compare. Still very talented. Then there's bands like the Police. I think they're more like on brand because they're just like there's a guitar player, a bass player, and a drummer. You know what I mean? And what's interesting about all these too is usually in these bands there's only one singer. So like Sting is definitely at the forefront of that band, but sometimes you get other people singing in the band too, but not usually. With Nirvana, it's Kurt. Sometimes you have Dave in the background, but not really. With Green Day, kind of same thing. You never really hear Mike Dirnt or Trey Cool singing in the background of any of that. So like those bands are like really easy to compare to each other, right?
Okay.
Nirvana, I've never seen them live. Unfortunately, he died when I was 1, but it's like, you know, I've heard that experience is way different because it's more of like a show and a noisy thing and whatever. But like when you go and you really pay attention to like the space that they are filling, Green Day 1 has a better tone, subjective, but like in terms of like a good tone, like it comes out of way more out of Billy Joe Armstrong's guitar than it does out of Kurt Cobain's. It's also, but those are also
Les
more.
Paul Jr., man,
Good
that's what I
point.
said.
Yeah.
I understand that. Yeah, right. More pedal music. Like a lot of it is the tone of the Rat and the other pedals that he has going on when it comes to Nirvana. But when it comes to Billy Joe, it's with the guitar he's using through the amps that he's using. There's a
It's
little
loud
more
Marshalls,
intention in
baby.
the tone. It
You
is
know what I
loud
mean?
Marshalls.
It's that.
Gibby, man.
Yeah, I mean the Gibby is a huge part of it also. Whole point, what I'm really trying to say here, everyone has their own place in Green Day. And everyone had their own place in Nirvana also, but there was like space in between. I just think that they just fill out their sound really well. I think that's like kind of the pop additive that like separated them from bands like Jawbreaker and other bands that were coming out of that like Gilman Street scene and everything. I could talk about Green Day forever, but Connor did this on purpose. Did he say something? Yeah, softball for Jordan. There it is, right?
Love it.
that's he did this. He was trying to incite a riot here.
Yeah,
so,
here we are.
But okay, let's move on.
Sick.
Is there another one? We talked about this already. We
feel
already
like-
talked
Heck
about
yeah.
this.
Take
Give
it
him a
away.
5 for the record. Oh, Alex Lifeson? Oh, he was on the last one.
Yeah, we already
Yeah.
talked about this.
Yeah.
Get out of here with
But
that.
Jay
All
gave
right.
Jay gave Billy Joe a 5.
A 5,
just
yeah,
to say,
Billy Joe
and we're
gave him a
we're
5.
just giving Alex Lifeson another
I didn't
10.
say.
I think unanimously.
Yeah, I gave him a
because
10 last time.
go listen to Alex Lifeson. He's amazing.
He is very underrated, that's for sure. He definitely
Come
is.
on.
All right. I want to do
Fuzz?
let's do this. Yeah. So for this section, everyone always hears the phrase fuzz first. We're going to talk about why.
Yes. I'm so excited. This was crazy.
This is nuts.
This is amazing. So,
I haven't got to
give us the
experience this yet,
rundown.
which is
What
why I'm
what is
very
it
excited.
about this that matters, Jordan?
So when it comes to fuzz first, generally speaking, you're talking about old vintage fuzzes because you're talking about fuzz faces, tone benders, things that were part of like that mid to late 60s build design thing. You wanted them at your front of your chain because they were kind of like the only pedals on the scene back then, and they were designed as such. So what happens what's an easier way to start this rabbit hole? Everyone knows, or at least I hope everyone knows, if you plug a fuzz face directly in from the output jack of your guitar, you can kind of adjust the gain with the volume knob, right? So that's kind of how you do like that cleanup, like Gary Moore thing. Who else does that? Jay knows better than I do. Who else does that? Hendrix for sure.
All the great guys. All the great guys that played fuzz faces. Come on.
All the great guys. Everyone who ever played a fuzz face does
The
this.
beauty of a fuzz
Chris
face is
Buck,
the
all those
fact
guys,
that it
yeah.
cleans up.
Yeah.
I think
Everybody.
that's just the thing.
Joe
I mean, not only do they have phenomenal high gain settings, but you can roll them back and you still get a lot of your clean tone through a fuzz face.
Well, that's the thing. They for whatever reason, there's this thing where sometimes like a really good fuzz face, with it on and rolling back your volume to clean it up is actually like a nicer clean tone than your original clean tone without it on.
Yeah, it's got a little
That's
juice,
the
got
kind
a little
of
bit
thing.
of dirt.
There's that, and there's also a clarity there. For whatever reason, it's the way that it thins out your sound of the frequencies. It tends to kind of push. Yeah, it's just clearer and better. I mean, I can show you right now.
That's a good idea, Jay.
That's kind of the
Let me make
plan,
sure that
right?
we're in true bypass.
Let me talk about it while they're. Let me first. I'll mute the
You want to hear it to know?
mute the guitars real quick. What why that happens? There's a thing called loading the pickups that this kind of fuzz does to your guitar. It just means your guitar is a little more dependent on. I'm sorry, your pedal's a little more dependent on what is going into it, what's in the front of it. There's pedals where this doesn't matter for most distortions and overdrives. There's certain fuzzes also, like the big muff stuff that has like buffers built into the front of it already. The reason we say fuzz first is because they don't behave correctly with things in between the guitar and that pedal, usually because that thing contains a buffer. This could be an active volume pedal. This could be a tuner. This could just be another pedal, like a Boss pedal that has a buffered in bypass. Even when you have stuff turned off, it could still be affecting that signal. So you want as little happening between your guitar and the fuzz phase as possible. If you could literally just plug them a 1-inch cable directly between the two, that would be the best possible thing you could do for it. So that being said, we wanted to set up a way to kind of show how that works. So tell me how you guys have that set up right now.
Okay, right now, it's the guitar. It's the same chain we had before. Right now, it's the guitar through the whole pedal board here and out through. Everything is true bypass, no buffers, just as it is. And I think we should have him play it clean, and then we'll kick on the glut cheeks so that, because that's like got a fuzz face style circuit in it, and we'll show what that kind of rolled back tone looks like. And then we'll show what it sounds like open, and then we'll put a buffer in there, and we can hear what the difference.
Before all that happens,
Mhm.
Ferns, can you make the SD card message go away on camera 6?
Burns Cam, we don't have
Ferns.
one yet,
Ferns.
so we might when
Ferns.
sponsors us.
Ferns.
We should have Ferns Cam.
There he is.
There
Look
he
at there he
is,
is.
the
It's Ferns.
man,
Ferns,
the
turn your head
myth,
to the left and
The
smile.
legend,
The
the
left, the
Synth
top.
King. Yay.
We love
So
to see it.
handsome.
So while they're doing that, I can hear all that terrible, terrible beeping noise in the. Yeah, here we go. Right, Ferns. Oh, he got it. Hey, look at that. Now it's no way. He didn't get it. He didn't get it. It's still there. Well, you guys, all right. I'm gonna walk everyone through how to get rid of this. Here's a new lesson: how to get rid of
Brad,
it.
no, you
Ferns,
need
you're
a
pressing the
glut
wrong
cheeks
button.
then.
Click.
It's the side
the big
button.
bumper.
There you go. We love to see it. Yep. Okay, cool. No one's getting that lessons today. Okay. So that being
Alex
said,
does get a 10 because of Trailer Park Boys. Yes. Thank you.
Connor goes, we need an SD card stinger. So, okay. So we just ran over it. So tell me how it's set up right now again, Rutsky.
Right now,
it's-
we've got. Thanks, Rutsky. Take it.
Sorry, I'm not Rutsky.
Oh, you
Go
can
ahead.
take it if you
No,
want.
no. Oh, everything's off. We're into it all. True bypass. Everything's off. It's all suck.
50 feet of cable from the guitar to the glut cheeks, and then through all these pedals, and then 50 feet of cable out to the amp. Everything is true bypass.
And we don't have a buffer engaged currently.
No
correct?
buffers.
No buffer.
No
Okay,
buffers.
So do me a favor. I want you. We're gonna kick on a fuzz phase for this, right? That's how we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
no buffers.
All right. So first things first. Let's go into. Right now we're just playing everything off. Do me a favor and switch between the buffer and the not buffer signal while it's clean. And
This
tell
is
me.
off.
Yeah, go ahead, say it.
This is on. Keep playing. Don't stop. This is buffer. Keep playing. Off.
That sounds dead on the top.
Yeah, because it is. Because you're losing all that signal from all of this cable and true bypass. Right now we're off.
All right, now can we go clutch cheeks on and I'll roll it back? You
Go.
hear that difference?
Go ahead, kick it on.
That's just so much more inspiring.
And that's with true bypass. Everything true bypass, no buffers. All right.
Now, go ahead, Rusty. I want you to flip on that buffer.
Now it's on.
Oh.
Rusty, do me a favor and give me a thumbs up, thumbs down on the buffer going on and off while Jay plays.
Love it. Up is on, down is off.
Wow. That was so out of tune. It's killing me.
Go ahead, let him get in tune.
I expected to play Nerd Nasty where I don't need to be in tune.
There we go. That's what I wanted to hear.
Sounds like it's just
Wow.
lifting a blanket off.
That's an insane difference between
That
those, just
doesn't
putting a
even
buffer
feel
in between
real.
them.
That doesn't even feel real. It's like I can't. Like, I'm like, what?
That's so crazy. That's so wacky. So,
And that's just a buffer at the end of the chain.
right, let's do this. What amp are you guys plugged into right now while you're doing
DeVille.
that? All right, let's do this. Rusky, why don't you grab your guitar, do the same thing, but plug it into the Vox.
Okay.
Make that happen. And then we'll try the last. We'll play another game, and then we'll do one more thing to explain why fuzz first. We'll do one more thing after that, and that'll be kind of a cool. That'll be a fun thing to do. I actually love having this cam up here. Oh, look at that SD card message on the top. Look at that. Leave that one. That's fine. That's fine. Don't. Oh, wow. You guys want to watch Rusky do this in real time? You press the side button, press it one more time, tap the screen. The back screen. Are you going to make this happen right now? Wow.
tickled
Wow. Look at that.
I'd
Woo.
like to thank my mom.
So Ferns
The
is fired.
Academy.
We don't need him anymore.
I was about to say, now
I just tickled his beard.
So, okay.
Are you wet? What?
I could be.
So, let's do this. We're going to get Rutsky all set up in there, right?
Oh, Rutsky's in, buddy.
All
He's fucking in.
And we're going to do the exact same thing we just did. So Jay, you're gonna have to switch the switch for him now, Jay.
Magic friggin'
That's nothing.
All right, I see it. All right, right now he's in true bypass, so I'm pleased with it.
That's on? Yeah.
That's on.
Wow. Just.
I said it doesn't even feel real. It's like, are you checking us, Jordan? Are you checking us?
I'm just kidding.
That's
Actually, when you
absurd.
flip that switch, it's like 12. It's like 12 metal zones all in a row. That's actually
That's
what it
what
is.
that is, guys. Take notes. That's what y'all should be doing.
It
So-
sounds like he just rolled the tone on his guitar.
Yeah, right. And the beauty of this guitar is that it doesn't have a tone knob. It's just volumes.
So
Pickups.
it looks like what, and again in here we have 50 feet of cable
Yep.
into 5 true bypass pedals into 1 buffer into another 50 feet of cable, and it is absolutely no match for the all-you-can-eat buffer. So do this, Jay. Go back and forth on that switch as fast as you can.
I flipped to the neck pickup just so that we can hear the difference in clarity on the top.
Yeah, sure.
You should give me a big sustain.
It's almost like a little harmonic trem.
I was thinking to say that. I was like, it's like the newest tremolo. That could be it. That's a $1 million idea right there.
Let's see this. Rutsky, turn it back to your bridge pickup. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the little frequency analysis in Pro Q. Put it down to the true bypass mode for me.
I'm just going to hit E's and G's,
It's in.
baby.
And flip it.
So it's true bypass. True bypass. Oh, keep going, Rutsky. Right here comes the buffer. You know what? I gotta say this. I gotta say this just because I'm in the room. That thing is not show how big of a difference it makes.
So that's what's interesting. I was
Me
just
and
going to
Rutsky
say
are
the
both
same.
experiencing it.
It's really interesting. I think that's definitely just because there's so much harmonic
Can we
content.
flip back
Right,
to
that's what I
the
mean.
Fender
That's-
too? I think I was hearing more of a difference in the
Oh,
Fender
the Fender.
myself.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Just because the Vox is a little more mid-focused.
Yeah. So let's do that. Let's swap over to that. That's fine with me. I think that what I'm noticing is one other thing I'm gonna say, because the Pro Q is definitely picking up. I mean, there's a lot more harmonic content with a fuzz face in front of it. You know what I mean? But I want to say that it's way more night and day with dirt in front of it, especially the fuzz. I think that it makes such a difference. So
It really does. It really does. It's honestly, I'm sort of pissed off about it. I'm not gonna lie.
So
Yeah, it's pretty
like
crazy. I
that
guess
it's
that was the first thing that surprised me today when we were finishing setting up was running through this rig without it and being like, yeah, that sounds good. And then you put a buffer at the end of it, and you realize how much you've actually been missing. And then once you turn it off, I don't feel right.
Right.
I feel like I have to have a buffer.
It's like when you sit
'Cause-
like first class for the first time on an airplane,
So-
then you never want to go back to coach.
It's literally exactly like that. That is exactly the feeling. Then you sit in coach, and you're like, man, if only I spent that extra couple $100 to get that first class seat, depending on your airline.
Well, all that being said, we're back in the fender now, right?
Back in the fender.
Is that on?
It's on.
Oh, that's the biggest difference. All right, fellas, let's do that part one more time. So hold on 1 second, just so we can, again, for anyone that's just joining us right now, this is the situation we have set up right now. We currently have Rutsky running his telly into 50 feet of cable, then into 5 true bypass pedals, then into a buffer that we can turn on and off. This is the all-you-can-eat buffer, which we just released today, which you can get at poisonnoises.com for $59.99, plus another 50 feet of cable straight into the DeVille after that. So, Jay, I want you to do the thumbs up when the buffer is on, thumbs down when the buffer is off, and I just want you guys to hear what this does to the tone. We do have the fuzz face side of the glut cheeks on, so you can get that dirt tone that you're hearing. And I want you guys to see what just having a buffer after that part of the signal actually does to the affected tone. So go ahead and you guys do your thing.
So right now we're in true bypass, which means we are getting no buffer. This is just pure suck. But
This thing hurts. To play like this and it's just gone.
Perfect. That's it. That's what it do.
That's
so
what it
we're gonna
is.
play
Can
one
we do
more
a
game.
90s commercial at some point that's just like, does your tone suck? Time to get buff.
Let's do
All you can eat.
let's do another game. This is gonna be the last game we do today, and then we'll have we'll do a little bit of fun with why the fuzz first thing. So let's pull it up here. Do you guys know what the next game we're gonna play is?
I do.
Can I guess?
No, because you can see it on the screen.
Is it
saw it.
your dad?
It's Nug.
Or
He clipped a thing to
I
my
clipped it
string.
out. I gotta clip this strings.
That was my nugger chug.
All right, let's jump into it, fellas. First round. If you guys don't know the rules to Nug or Chug, Connor has curated a small list of phrases or words or whatever, and we have to guess whether they are a guitar pedal or a strain of marijuana. So first, we have Animal Face.
Fuck, that's a pedal.
You think a pedal?
I'm voting pedal.
It's like you almost feel like anything with the word face at the end of it is a fuzz, right?
Yeah, like it could be a fuzz face
feel-
clone.
Animal face, man. Dude, I don't know. It's so tough.
I can't think of what company would make animal face. I'm going weed. I'm going Nug.
All right. We're 50-50 on this one. Ferns, Nug or Chug? Animal face.
I'm gonna
Pedal.
He says
Going
chug.
He says chug. I say chug. Retzky says nug.
The answer is
No.
Hey!
I
My
win.
boy.
we love to see it. So, next on the list we have
Blasted mother.
it's a pedal.
Pedal.
I know. As I say, I know this one.
It's a clon, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's a clon.
I forget. What is it?
It's
not
a pedal.
Calibrad, right?
I couldn't tell you. who
No,
makes it.
isn't it? What's her name's brand? Are we all saying pedal? I'll just change it.
Definitely,
I
it's
can't remember.
definitely
Yeah. It's
100%.
definitely.
I
Yeah.
know it's a pedal.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah. It's a Heather Brown pedal.
Heather
Yeah.
Brown.
Right. We
I
knew that.
almost bought one of these.
Yeah. She's cool.
It's got a clean
She makes
blend.
cool stuff.
Very, very knuckle sandwich.
Yeah. Is it?
Can we
It
flip
has-
back
it
to
has a
that real
clean one,
fast
though.
because that
I'm
art
just
is
saying.
dope.
Oh, yeah.
She
I
gets.
think it's like a rat
10 points
style,
for-
I thought.
Is it a rat? I thought it was a clon.
Oh, really? No,
Well, I'll
it's
tell you right
really
now,
high
the
gains.
knobs make me think clon.
It's got
The
an
shape makes me think
immaculate
clon.
knob.
Yeah,
The-
I'm
Knows
pretty
what that
sure.
is.
I think that's the clean blend.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that
it's
makes
a
sense.
clean blend, yeah.
So, okay, next on the list we have Randy's Revenge.
Definitely
That's
a weed.
weed. 100%.
Definitely a nug.
If that's a fucking pedal.
Sometimes when it's like so obvious,
Sue
you
me.
like don't, you just want to go against the grain.
The only reason that I would go, I mean, I guess I'm going nug because I can't think of any company that would put a person's name on the pedal, aside
can
from
definitely
like
think of
maybe
weed.
a pet name. Like I've seen people make like pedals and name them after pets, but
Yeah, like the,
I'm going nug,
Yes.
hard nug.
Ugh.
Fair
of course,
field,
those
darn
bastards.
you, good job.
So good. TJ would have got this.
TJ would have got this.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely,
I
no
know.
question.
I know. We gotta get the Sun Natives in here.
I would love to. I'd love to have
Oh,
those guys
yeah.
in here. All right, next we have
The
Original Z.
original
That's
Z.
definitely Nug. I feel like mind you,
He did it green.
I'm 1 for 3 on this, so don't listen to me. But I'd say original Z is definitely Nug. Is it green just to confuse me?
I know, right?
Fuck, Connor, you're so good at this.
Yeah, good job, Connor.
I'm gonna say
The original Z.
Nug.
I'm also gonna say
We're
nug.
going Nug.
We're going hard nug.
on this one.
Ferns, you in on this?
The original Z.
The original Z.
We're
He's going
We're all
nug. Unanimous nug.
Unanimous nug.
Hey! That shit looks
Can't
good,
fool
too.
us, Connor. Well, he fooled us with some other ones.
Power chord. All
All right,
The
next.
buffer is on.
Love it. Sky Stomper.
That's a
Pedal.
fucking weed, man. That's
He put the
gotta
words.
be.
He put the word stomp in there to confuse us. No question.
He definitely did, but I'm still going pedal.
Is this like a reverse psychology thing he's doing on us? Do you think?
Probably.
I'm going
Okay.
weed, man. I'm
Connor,
going
it's way
weed.
too heavy.
I'm going weed too.
I think
All
I've.
right.
I think I've actually.
Good
tried
job.
This, but maybe as I say, that's like some hybrid between fucking Skywalker.
Damn, the
and
comment
something.
section was lit up with pedal too. Everyone thought pedal. What are you gonna do? All right. Is there any more? Or is that the last one? Oh, Runaway Bride. Can't play that. John Williams will sue us.
It was a part of a punk song.
That's gotta be.
You just didn't hear the background music.
Pedal, man. That's gotta be. A pedal. That's like a delay pedal that just feedbacks.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm
I-
sorry. What does the pedal do?
Can you make that sound again?
Weird
for us?
pig noises.
No. How does it go again? Thank
That's
you.
what Chunky says.
I like that. I mean, you ever see that video of the guys doing the pig call kind of? Come here, pig.
Yeah. The
No, I've only ever seen the pig races.
Give me the other mic. No, I'm just kidding. No, the other one.
All right. What are we going for Runaway Bride?
Sorry.
Runaway Bride
I go
pedal.
pedal. I'm pedal.
Pedal? I'm in pedal too.
Ferns, you going pedal on this? Runaway Bride.
He's going pedal. We are not doing the best at this.
Loser.
I guess that just means Connor is doing the best at this.
Connor's doing
unfortunate.
the best at
I don't
this.
want him to be doing the best at this.
Stop doing the best at this, you
I think
Connor.
that might
I'm
be
talking
it,
to
fellas.
you,
Yeah,
Connor.
that is the end of
Loser.
Nug or Chug. So, all right. Here's the last thing I want to do here, fellas. I want to show why fuzz first.
Yes.
That's
Let's do
perfect.
this. Let's put the little handmade thing I have there
Uh-huh.
on the left plugged into the front of the glut cheeks. I am going
I'm
to
gonna
go
do it so
in,
fast.
And well, hang on. Let me mute the. Okay.
I said.
I said.
I'm just leaving it at that.
Plug that all in. There's nothing more interesting than watching people plug in guitar pedals on a live stream. I feel like everyone who like creates content like this just gets like a little bit of anxiety of like the time in between. Yeah, there you go. That's why we kept that thing around. All right, do me a favor and turn it into true bypass mode for me, Jay.
Buddy, it is. I'm
I'm
already
on
on
it.
it. I'm already on it.
Love
He's
to
already
see it.
on it.
I thought the same thing, my friend.
And I will flip accordingly.
Oh, man, that's brutal. Definitely dark.
Right. It's crazy.
I'm missing that buffer at the end already.
Well,
I'll be
why don't
honest
we
with
do
you.
this? We can just how about
Can we put the good buffer, the new buffer?
No, you can't get it yet.
at the end?
Sure. I mean, we could, but I feel like we should. We're already here. Let's just send this.
Well, how about this? Can we just unplug the output of the glut cheeks and just plug like a blue cable into it? We don't need the 50 feet of cable for this one. I don't want anyone to get confused. Okay, you guys never let me know when I gotta mute the mics.
That's my fault.
You never let
Rutsky
me
saw it
know,
coming. He reached for me. It was
never
too
let me
late.
know.
He's so much better
Someone
than
is
I am.
asking. Oh, Peter goes, "What's the oldest shirt on the wall?" I don't know if I can get a shot of it. I know which one it is.
I've never heard of that band.
Yeah, you can't see it. It's behind the Vox right now. There is a brown Pink Floyd T-shirt underneath where the Vox is. It's directly behind the Vox. That's the Fender Rutsky. It's a brown. Just if you lean the Vox forward,
Behind
maybe
that.
I can
It's
see it.
underneath the LED.
You can't see it. I'm telling you can't see it right now. It's a Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon shirt. It's like behind the orange and the Vox together. You'll never find it. But Peter wanted to know. There's a lot of that shirt's from the 7th grade, which is a long time ago.
I'm
In
gonna
case
ask one
anyone's
more
wondering.
time. Are we putting this all you can eat after? Because that's what we really want.
No,
but-
no. We're just gonna. This is what I want. I want you to go with the short cables I have, the blue and the gold one. Go guitar into the little handheld buffer thing I made where we can switch between, into the glut cheeks, and then short cable from that into the amp.
That's going to take a couple extra seconds. Right now, all the 50 feet cables were really easy to use because everything's plugged into those. Do you want me to flip them?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm making it so difficult here, but
No, that's okay.
I
just
just
want to
don't.
make sure that
I
we
just
use
don't
the
want
right-
anyone to be confused as like to think that it's losing signal because of the
Long
length of cable
cables,
we're
I
using. Yeah. So we're trying to take out all the variables here, you know. But yeah, so
You got
so
another
that's
15 footer?
let's see.
There's a blue one.
There's a blue one. Mr. Grinch.
Jay, I appreciate your dedication just having those alligator clips on your head this whole time.
Dude, I had another one that was hooked up to my guitar. I'm glad you reminded me. I gotta hook that back up, otherwise I lose tone.
Otherwise, it won't work, right? That's how you're grounding it
is
to your
my-
switch.
this
It's the only source of grounding that guitar has.
The Doom stick is its own. It's got its own heart, man. I gotta keep that thing going,
Yeah.
powered. You know.
So while we said that the last thing was like the most jarring representation we had of what a buffer does, this is also a really fun way to really explain it. I don't know why I've never seen this in a video before. We'll definitely cut it up and make it into a short and explain how that works. But it really is interesting to see why everyone says fuzz first instead of just being like, just take my word for it. Like it really is a neat tool we have to really explain why this is important. That being said, Connor wants me to give the pitch. I never really pitched the pedal. I don't even think I showed the website last time for the mood swing. So just for the sake of it, you can get the all-you-can-eat buffer for $59.99 on poisonnoises.com/shop/p/all-you-can-eat, or just go on to our homepage. You'll see it right here. If you guys are ever looking for our pedals, you can just go on the homepage and just click on them when they load, and they will take you right to where you need to get it. But this is the cheapest Poison Noises pedal we've ever had. $59.99.
That's friggin' rad.
And probably the most important.
I think I would say that it's the most important to every pedal board.
yeah, look, it's one
Every
of
other pedal that you have can be more to taste, but this one I think is just unanimously something like this should be on every single board on purpose at the end of the chain.
Hey, DJ, I see you in the comments. If you're looking for a gem drive, go call up Adirondack Guitar. They're like in like the Glens Falls area. I don't know if you are in.
Of New York.
Oh yeah, if New York. Yeah, I don't know if you're in the 518 area, but just look up Adirondack Guitar. I think they still have some. I think there was only 40 made total. I could be wrong. I'm not positive. That being said, how close are we to set up here, fellas?
Oh, we should be all good to go here, bud.
Okay, cool. So how many feet of cable from Jay to the
15.
15 from Jay's guitar to the buffer, currently in true bypass mode, and then to the glut cheeks, and then 15 feet of cable out to the DeVille.
Cool. So let's just show what the glut cheek sounds like in the fuzz face mode in the same settings that we had before.
All right. Right now, this is out, thumbs down. This is just
No buffer.
Thumbs
True
down
bypass.
means no buffer. Hold up one sec, fellas. Hang on. There we go. There's that tone.
Now it's on.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's happening right now. So hopefully you guys can
Garbage
hear
is
that.
happening.
You guys can hear that difference. It's crazy.
It
what
becomes
does to
like
that.
anemic immediately.
It's wet.
There's a lot of things when you're playing it that you'll feel. First, it'll feel like it's always ducking on you. You also lose a lot of low end.
It's splatty. It feels like it feels like it's like it's weird because it's like I want to say it feels overbiased, but it's more underbiased feeling. Yeah, like I like when things are overbiased sometimes.
It feels like you have to work for it to get
But
something
then-
out of
then
it,
when
but
you
you'll
dig
never
harder,
get it.
You won't get it.
You'll
the,
never
the
get
harder
it.
you work, the farther you become from it.
Yeah, exactly.
It-
It literally
the main thing,
gets
if I play
thinner
really
the
soft-
harder you put it. It almost sounds like when you're going through it. Because here, do me a favor.
If I played really soft, it'd be less noticeable. Watch.
Right now it's on true bypass mode. Can you do me a favor? And can you just hit a really hard power chord for me? Hit it hard. Alright, pause. Now we're in. And now true bypass again.
So maybe you're into that.
That's what I was saying. It's kind of splurty, and I mean,
It's-
it's a sound.
It has its place,
In the
but you
world of
have to
guitar, there's no
know
wrong,
when
but-
when it's happening. Because do me a favor, let's just do
Can
an
I try
experiment.
something? Can I try
We're gonna
something?
roll back.
Well, I was just about to say if I give it less.
I was about to ask you to do that. So right now we're in true bypass mode. So when he rolls back, in theory it should just stay nice and clean, have a little bit of dirt. This is buffer on. Volume rolled back on the guitar. True bypass. He just rolled his volume all the way up.
Yeah, it just gets all farty. It's cool.
It's crazy. It's very all right. So let's do. I want to do
Sounds
one.
like there's almost a little bit of a gain boost.
Yeah, it
Maybe
sounds
that's
like it
part of it.
compresses the signal almost in
There's
a way.
a little bit of a boost. That might be part of why it's not so great in front of fuzz because they're so dependent on.
The lack of voltage.
Well, they're
the lack of
like
signal.
impedance, very impedance sensitive.
Yeah, and then also there's just the effect of it, like I talked about before, loading your pickups. You almost have to think about it as like the signal going the other way. It's like a really hard thing to kind of explain if you don't quite know how pickups work, but it's a little bit,
Could you
have to-
break that down for us in 100 words or less?
It's like in 100 words or less, probably, but I don't feel like it.
fair.
But it has a little more to do with like inductance and more than just like you really have to understand like the way like a pickup works. It's kind of maybe another lesson. Maybe one day we'll sit down
Stay
and we'll actually
tuned.
draw it out.
Buffers part
Bring a bunch of guitars and pickups.
Because what I want to do right now is something that I don't think has ever been done on a YouTube live before. So, like I had mentioned previously, at least I think I did.
Can you mute the guitars before you explain?
Yeah, absolutely, because he wants to start setting it up. So, what I want to talk about is one of the great parts of this pedal is that it is in fact in stereo. You can plug TRS signals into it. So if you got a keyboard or whatever that you want to raise the impedance on and give it let's say adjust the impedance on, it runs in stereo. So you can plug in two signals into it at once, and that's what we're going to do right now. So what we have is we actually have two cables that are TRS splits to tip and sleeve separately into separate jacks. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to have Jay plug into the tip side and tip side out, and then have Rutsky plug into the ring side of it and ring side out, which will effectively make it so we can have two guitar players playing the same pedal at the same time. Two guitar players, one pedal. Say with me. Two guitar players, one pedal. Say with me. Two guitar players, one pedal. That's what we're going to do right now. So,
Just the tip.
you're right. Well, just for you. Rutsky gets just the ring. So, that being said.
Should I run just through the buffer itself, or should I run through other things as well?
No, just the buffer. The buffer is the only thing on that board right now, or on that board. Board. On that table right now that is stereo. It's the first. It's actually the first ever stereo Poison Noises pedal. Is this buffer, which is really, really cool. Hopefully not the last. But I think that two guys, one pedal. Two guys, one pedal. People are saying that two guys, one pedal. Connor goes, you can find the full video of two players, one pedal on our OnlyFerns page.
Oh, I love that.
So, yeah, again, you can see Rutsky doing it right now. Rutsky is taking the split Y cable, which goes TRS to two TS cables, splitting the ring and the tip separately, and they're putting them into two separate amps. So which one is getting tip, which one's getting ring, Rutsky?
Jay is running the tip side, running through the buffer into the Fender DeVille, and I will be running the ring side through the Vox.
Cool. So, and again, there is only one all-you-can-eat buffer on this. Maybe you can kind of see it over here in camera 6 underneath Jay's elbow. Hey, there it is as Rutsky knocks over a bunch of other pedals. This is one pedal that has two guitars going through it at the same time. Two guys, one pedal. Say it with me again. Two guys, one pedal.
One pedal.
So, plug both those on, or turn both those on. It's already plugged in, and they should be able to play completely independent signals through two different amps. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to see if I can maybe hard pan these guys so you guys can hear them a little bit better.
What tuning are you in?
C.
And there you have
We're
it,
just
folks.
making it up on the
That was it. Two guys, one pedal. It happened
Hey, it
for the first
did.
time ever. At least I think. Someone prove me wrong. Tell me that's not the first time two people have ever played the same pedal at the same time. I would love to know.
That definitely.
It
It's the
felt
first
like
that I
a
know.
sin to take these TRS to TS cables
Oh,
and
and
pull
like
them
split
so
them
far
all the way
apart.
down the middle.
It felt
Yeah,
wrong.
it felt wrong, but so right at the
So
same
right,
time.
Yep. Yeah,
But-
just so that you guys can see this, we might as well. I'm not gonna play. Do me a favor. Give me a couple chucks, Jay.
Oh my gosh. It's just so unforgivingly clean. I hate it.
And then on my side. That sounds good. That's insane.
Say it with me again. Two guys,
two
one
guys,
pedal.
one
Two guys, one pedal. Two guys,
Two
one pedal.
guys,
Two
one pedal,
guys,
two
two
guys,
guys, one pedal. Two guys, one pedal.
That's what you
Wow,
get.
that thing's so
That
loud.
did not feel good. Sorry, everyone.
Nobody liked that.
For giving
All
me
right,
that.
guys, that's all we have for the Poison Noises live stream today. Thank you for being with us and talking about what's the deal with buffers. I am Jordan here for Poison Noises, here with my buddies Rutsky and Jay and Ferns. One day we'll get the Ferns cam. One day we'll get the Ferns cam. Today is unfortunately not that day.
And
But-
don't forget to go swimming.
Okay. Until next time.